Well, it's always a great day when we get to have the great Jim Dutton on from Texas Home Improvement every Saturday afternoon, 1 to 3, Jim. Is that correct?
12 to 2.
What's wrong with me, Jim?
I don't know.
I've lost my touch. My gosh, I apologize. No, I was saying 1 to 3 Eastern.
Oh, okay. I'll buy that.
12 to 10. Jim, one of the things that people need to realize, you don't want to get caught with your pants down. We got very cold weather coming in. It looks like a Sunday night. We're going to hit with a pretty bad cold front where.
Yep.
Well, now, I don't know if you've looked at all the intricacies on that, but apparently it's going to be in the low 40s during the day and freezing for several hours, I guess, overnight. So what is your thought on that, and what does that tell you that we need to be doing for our homes? There's a bunch of things I assume you're going to recommend, and I'll ask you some questions. What do you say?
Okay, the number one thing is obviously get everything covered. Hose bibs, undo the hoses outside. Because if the hose freezes, it'll go up into the hose bib. Cover that hose bib, whether you use one of those styrofoam covers on it or you just wrap towels around it. That's it. Any exposed pipes need to be wrapped and covered. And really, that's going to be, if you're going to be gone, shut the water off.
Yes. Now, so yeah, if you're going to be gone for a day or two, don't just, if you leave overnight, just turn off the water.
Yeah, it's so easy to turn it off, and it can just save you thousands of dollars from having problems later.
Jim, when you do that, you should also drain, right? Like you should open up all your faucets to let the water that's in the pipes to drain if you shut your water off.
Absolutely, but I mean, the biggest reason I tell, be up front. This freeze is not going to cause that much damage.
Right.
Will there be some damage? Absolutely, from people who did nothing. But as far as the advantage we have this time is, it's at night going down into the low 20s.
Yes.
But during the day, we're still going into the 40s. So
right.
Where we really get into problems is when we start having below freezing for extended period of time, like 2-3 days in a row, we got major problems.
Yes, because that's where it does not thaw out for a long time. The 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 day. That's where you get really major problems, right?
Yeah. Now, in the kitchen, bathrooms, if they're on outside walls, open up the cabinets to let heat in there.
Right.
So that keeps warmth going where it needs to go. As far as if you have an outside water heater, and some people do, tankless that are on outside walls, make sure everything is in there to protect it. Some of the heaters have heating elements that will keep it warm in there. Others, you just plain have to make sure that the pipes are wrapped and stuff. A lot of people will want to leave water dripping and running. Look, waterfalls freeze. That's not going to save you. Wrapping the pipes is what's going to save you.
So, Jim, that's what... And let me go back on one thing as far as wrapping up your pipes on the outside, the hose bibs and stuff, because I have both of mine come straight out of the ground. One comes up like 1.5 feet, 2 feet, and the other one, that to me is the most vulnerable one. The other one comes up about 8 inches, maybe 10 inches or 12 inches. I don't know. It's a lot shorter. For some reason, my towels have mysteriously disappeared from my pile of stuff to do this. So I did have a ton of sheets. Will that work if I wrap up a bunch of sheets over it, or is it like, no, use the towels? It
will, but you want to know what I do at my house?
No.
Where the pipes come up? I mean, this is hard. It takes a lot of work.
Oh, here we go. What?
Get a 5-gallon bucket and put it over the top.
That literally does it without having to wrap it?
The heat from the ground will keep the pipe just fine. When we had the Snowmageddon, my outside pipes like that were just fine the whole time. Oh, my
gosh. So, Jim, I have like concrete surrounded by some, where the pipe comes up. So it's like maybe 5 inches around is the dirt, and then the rest is concrete. Is that going to be harder for it to stay warm if I throw something over it?
No.
Okay. Wow. And then, so just do buckets over them. That should do it, huh?
Yeah, do a 5-gallon bucket and you're good.
Wow. Okay. Well, then that's even better. So now the pipes for...
Now, be prepared, though. On Sunday?
Yeah.
We got major wind coming with it. So if you put a 5-gallon bucket, you got to make sure you put a
rock on there.
It down.
Yes. So Jim's like, listen, this is complicated. This is brain surgery. You get a 5-gallon bucket, you put it over that, and then you got to have what's called a rock. And the rock needs to be 5 pounds or more because it's going to be windy on that rock. And that rock will blow off. Put some eyeballs on the rock.
Yep.
So it can be a pet rock and then put it out there. Okay, now, Jim, also, Jim Dutton from Texas Home Improvement, if you're just joining us, about the very, very cold weather coming in. The dripping of the faucet. So, I love this because you have taught me well. And I know enough to be dangerous, and you've taught me this. It says, can dripping your faucets prevent pipes from bursting in freezing weather? Channel 8, yes, they claim.
Yes.
Leaving faucets dripping during freezing weather can help prevent the pipes from bursting, and they cite the Red Cross, Association of Plumbing and Mechanical Officials. Yes, they say leaving faucets dripping can prevent pipes from bursting. The water dripping in the faucet should be cold since it's more likely to freeze than warm water. But I don't think this is contradicting you. I think they're just wrong. Is that accurate?
It is. I mean, let's be real here. Where do we live? We're in the South.
Mm-hmm.
We have plumbing in the North as well. Do they leave the water running?
No.
They insulate the pipes.
That's exactly. We never did. I'm from the North. I lived in Minnesota, and
don't tell nobody. I mean, that's where I'm from originally too.
You still have that Minnesotan accent in you.
Hey. Don't you guys start saying that.
Come on now. Yeah, Hayter. Well, Hayter is more like the Wisconsin. So my wife, who you know well, Faye, her dad is from Minnesota as well. And he wants to go back there before he passes away and have a beer on the lake or whatever. You're like, dude, you're 90, you're like 80 something year old. You have vascular dementia, and you're in South Florida. Not gonna happen, dude. Next question. But he still has that Minnesota accent. I'm very familiar
Minnesota's
with.
A beautiful place to visit.
It absolutely
in July.
Is. Yes. So, Jim, yeah, I mean, they don't, we didn't drip our faucets in Minnesota.
No.
We didn't drip our faucets in Chicago, where I'm born and raised. Okay, so that settles that. Anything else, really? Because we checked off the spigots on the outside. We checked off the water hoses. And if you leave your house, and the sprinkler systems,
shut them off.
Yeah. And then if you have an underground foundation water, still do it, is what you say, unless it's like super cold, right?
Underground what?
Like we call it a drip system, drip line
you
around.
You don't even have to worry about that. Just anything that's above ground is what you have to worry about.
Right on. Jim Dutton
now,
and Texas.
One quick thing on sprinkler systems and all that. A lot of them have a riser. Mm-hmm. Make sure that's protected.
A riser.
Backflow preventers.
Okay. Is it below ground or above ground?
It's above ground in a lot of cities.
Oh, okay. I think mine's all below ground, but some cities. Yeah. Okay, that's good to know, Jim. Thank you very much. Hey, it's Texas Home Improvement from noon to 2 every Saturday afternoon. It is the best home improvement in America show in America, really is. And also, Jim has his own plumbing and foundation business, Due West. I'm a big fan. We use you all the time. Thank you, Jim, for coming on. We appreciate you.
My pleasure. And by the way, I enjoyed your show early on New Year's.
Thank you very, very much, man. Thank you. Woohoo, baby! Thank you, Jim. I appreciate you, my friend. I'm a fan of yours, too. So there we go. How about that? Thank you, brother.